Okay, I think we are live. Good evening, everyone. This is Uygar from AOP, from London. Tonight we're going to talk about personalized products and how to sell them with AOP on Etsy and Shopify. I have a special guest from Ireland, Daniel. Hi, Daniel.
Hey guys, how you doing? Hello,
So,
Uygar.
hello. So we're going to talk about, it's going to be a friendly conversation. Daniel, my friend, and he's an AOP user for a long time. I don't know how many years we are working together. And how many years? Any idea?
Like 4 or 5.
Jesus, 4 years. I need to see your face every single day.
Yeah,
And you need to see mine. This even worse.
I know.
So Daniel is very expert, extremely good talented seller, especially on Etsy and on Shopify, obviously. He is really mainly focusing on personalized products. And as far as I know, he is doing well. And also, as you all know, on our application, we don't have an automated system for personalized products. I know you hate that. I hate it as well. I really hate automated products. But I promise you, the first quarter of 2021, we're going to start working on this one, and it's going to be added to the AOP Plus application. For now, we have a workaround. Most sellers, they have their own system, and they manage to send customized, personalized orders to us. And pretty much all products you see on AOP Plus are customizable. You can offer all of them to your customers as personalized. But there's a small workaround, a small trick you need to be aware. Daniel has a great system. He was happy to share with me and with the AOP Plus users. So tonight we're going to talk about that. Daniel, are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, go ahead.
Cool. So we're just going to talk a little bit about how we have our shops connected to AOP, how we set up for personalized products, and how we process those products once they're ordered, and that's pretty much it. We're not going to go into a lot about designs or what personalized products to sell or what designs to sell. This is really about how to get connected to AOP, how to get onto their system, what you need, and then a system that you can set up so that you'll be more successful when you do get your personalized designs up, whether it's on Etsy or Shopify. So we're definitely going to talk a lot about Etsy today because that's where we do a lot of our sales, but almost everything we talk about today will apply to Shopify in some way, shape, or form. So let's just get started.
Let's get started. And meantime, if you guys have any questions, feel free. We are live on Facebook page, Facebook group, YouTube channel, Twitter, and also Periscope, as far as I know. So feel free to send your questions. Have you seen this?
Yeah, that sounds like Peter.
Peter or Craig, I'm expecting. But we cannot see your name. So if we go streamyard.com/Facebook, if you are commenting on Facebook, so you need to log in the way we can see your face. But okay, let's bet. It sounds like Craig. Maybe Peter if he's awake at the moment. But anyways, let's keep going.
Okay, so we're just going to cover two main categories today. That is how to build out a process and a system to sell your personalized products. So how to set up your products and a process for a successful personalized store. And then we're going to talk about how you run this. And again, we're just going into basics here. We don't want to talk all night. So how we're going to manage our orders efficiently, how we're going to track our workflow. And so this will be designed whether you're a single user and you're doing everything on your own, or whether you're able to split the tasks up and you've got someone who's a designer or you've got someone who's managing your customer service or managing your orders. So step one is to design tracking. And so why do we need to track our designs? Why do we need a tracking system? So if you have 10 personalized orders or 10 personalized products or 15 or 20, and that's all you have and that's all you'll ever have, you don't need a system. If someone orders something, it's going to be very straightforward to find the original files you need to personalize, the original templates. You're never going to lose track of them. So if that's the case and you've got 10 to 15 designs, you don't really need to do anything. If you have 100 designs or 200 designs or 300 designs, then when someone places an order, it's going to become a monumental task to go and find the particular design that they've ordered and then personalize it and then get the personalized final design over to AOP. And so this system we're going to talk about is fairly basic, but it allows you to build. So what we're going to talk about is an efficient system. It'll track your product type, the design or the type of personalization that you're going for, and then it'll allow you to quickly find the exact design or exact personalization option that you need to when an order comes in. So I'm just going to go over a quick number of examples here. This is not the exact system that we use, but it is based on the system that we use. And so I'll just go over here. We've got 3 different products, 2 socks, a women's t-shirt and a men's t-shirt. And we've got 2 different personalization options. So one of them we're going to go after, say, the wedding niche, and we've got focusing on people who are just married or getting married and they want their names printed. The other personalization option is they're just going to send you a photo and they want their name stuck on it. So again, very, very basic. This
Good
isn't
question.
for design ideas. Yeah.
I mean, as an expert on personalized products, how many to start with? There are lots of new users on AOP Plus, and I've seen some emails coming from our customers as well. What's your recommendation? How many personalized designs or concepts they need to start with?
A lot.
That's not the answer. What's a lot? 5, 10, 100, 200?
Well, we started a new store, and we started within the first month, we had 160 designs listed.
Jesus.
And even now, that new store, it's not making millions. It's making consistent sales and it's profitable. But personalized options are a competitive niche. So if you have something that's brand new or a brand new idea, or you're capitalizing on something that's trending, whether that's sticking an image against some text that's trending or something that's like very big at the moment, if you're going into the regular personalization niche, there's just so much competition that you're going to need a lot of designs to find out which ones are winning. I mean, to put that in perspective, we have another 400 ready to list in Q1 next year.
Do you use a specific designer, or do you do all designs by yourself?
So I build a lot of our personalized products myself. You can definitely go get a designer to do it. You just need to tell them that this will be personalized. So they need to provide the working files, like the Photoshop files, or...
Where do you find your designers usually?
Where do I find my designers?
Yeah.
It really depends. I've never found a designer for the type of stuff that we do that we're perfectly happy with. My wife does most of our designs for our main store. She's a graphic designer, so that's works out great for us. Outside of her, outside of her, we haven't really found someone who gets our niche the way that we want. And so, yeah, we do most of the designs in-house.
Okay, you're lucky. Do you pay her?
Do I what?
Do you pay her?
Do I pay her? She pays me. That's how this works.
Wow, amazing business. Lucky.
So we're looking at our personalization options again, just 2 very basic ones. And then what we're going to do is, let's say we are offering different backgrounds with these. So some people may want a particular background, or your design may call for different backgrounds. Maybe you want to do something with in football or rugby or golf, and maybe you have similar personalizations that you can do that fit in each of those niches, and then you just want to swap out the background. And so those are our 3 sort of options that we're looking at now. So we need a way to kind of categorize these. So we're going to break them down and give each section its own code. So we have here in the result column, SK will be our code for socks. And in this particular case, SK will always be our code for socks. So it doesn't matter what type of personalization we're doing, we're always going to use SK. And then this particular personalization option is going to be MN, and that's completely obvious. It's married names, but you can come up with something completely random, just as long as you're comfortable with remembering what it's going to be. And then we've got our backgrounds. And so we've got B01 and B02, very self-explanatory, background 1 and background 2. I don't need to know what B01 and B02 are because my backgrounds will be labeled when I've made them. So I can just search for B01 and find it. And now we'll get to this in a bit, but you'll notice that the next 2 rows in the results column have B01 and B02, except they're different. And so this comes down to how you want to label things. Again, this isn't the system that we use exactly, but you can have different backgrounds for different products. You can have one background that fits all products in some way. You can have multiple ways of doing this, but it's just that you need to have a system that works for how you want to sell things. A lot of the ways that we do it is we have one background for almost every single product, and our backgrounds just go from 1 to X number. And so we don't have separate product backgrounds, but it's really entirely how you want to do it. This is just an example of why or how a system could be set up. So under that, we have women's shirts, men's shirts, and the photo and the name and the pink flower pattern. And so our results there are WTPN and MTPN. So we can very quickly find these particular products. And we'll talk about what we do with these codes in a minute. But that's just a very quick example of sort of the system that we use to track our designs and how they correlate to products and personalization. So the next thing we're going to quickly look at is design organization. And so this can become a nightmare. And I've discovered this because we have so many designs, and keeping track of what you're working on and where your designs are located can be a nightmare. So we're going to just quickly talk about this. So the first thing we want to do is to create the designs. Pretty obvious. So we're going to create whatever our personal designs are, pick our backgrounds, choose our text, choose our font, choose any of the design styles that we want to use. The next thing we're going to do is create the print templates, and we'll go into a bit more detail on the print templates later, but this is one of the key elements for working with multiple users on a team. If you're only doing this by yourself, it may not be as important, but it can save a lot of hassle by creating very specific print templates when it comes to processing your orders. Then we're going to organize the folders. And so this is where our labels come in. The first place our labels come in. So we've got our templates that we've made from the previous slide, and we're going to label our folders and our print templates based on those labels. And then we're going to create the mockups. And so I know there's been discussion in the group about AOP mockups, but really, no matter where you're selling, if you're doing personalization like this, the mockups just won't be exactly what you want, because if you're selling on Etsy or Shopify, people are going to want to see variations of what they can do with it. So
you cannot use the standard mockups, which is okay. I'm not saying our mockups are amazing, which they are not, but I mean, you need to create something from scratch, or you need to make some different type of mockups, right?
Yeah. So basically, what you're going to want is, say, a mockup that shows, hey, this is personalized. This can be personalized, and then you're going to want to show different ways that it can be personalized. Whether that's with multiple different names, or whether that's with multiple different images, or whether it's just, hey, you can have this in different colors. And so if you upload to AOP, they're going to spit out a mock-up that's just static. It's not going to change. And so there's no way for your customer to know this can be personalized, or what ways it can be personalized. So you're definitely going to want to create your own mockups. And where you find them, we both make our own and we just Google them. Some of them you just have to go to Google and find a mockup for your product type, and your best bet is to just pay for them. And whether you're going to pay $10 or $20 per mockup is fine, considering that you're now going to be able to use that mockup across an entire range of personalized products, and it'll pay for itself.
There's a user called Peter Fitzer. He's asking, do placed mockups work well?
I don't use placeit mockups, so I don't know.
Okay.
I've never used placeit mockups. Generally, I prefer to have access to the Photoshop file itself, rather than relying on a third-party service to generate mockups for me. So I generally will just find something that either gives you an image that you can work off of, or gives you the fully made Photoshop file with the smart effects and stuff.
All right.
So, and now I will go into a bit more detail about our folder structure and stuff in an example, but we're just going to keep going on the presentation for now.
Okay.
So order tracking. This is absolutely crucial if you plan on doing more than 5 orders a month. And so we manage this with Google Sheets. And so without a tracking system, you're just going to lose orders, especially working with Etsy. Their messaging platform is dreadful. If you accidentally leave something as unread or don't have a category set up within your Etsy orders, you're going to forget about an order where you're waiting on a customer to get back to you, or they never sent you an image and you forgot because you were too busy. So having a separate tracking system is really, really important. And so this sort of simple tracking system that we developed, it's basic and it has its limitations, but it's very easy to build and it's pretty easy to manage. And so it really has helped us tremendously keep things going very smoothly. So I don't even have to log into Etsy anymore. If I'm processing orders, or if an editor we have is processing orders, we don't even need access to Etsy. We just go to the sheet. So this is an example. Now it's entirely fictitious information. Nothing here is real, so you can look at it all you want. I will go over a live version of this this particular document, but you can see column A, we have what's called the last touch point, and we use this for customers who aren't getting us images, who aren't confirming that they're happy with a particular design, if they ask for a mock-up or if they ask for something specific. And so all we do is we update this the last day, or every time we message them, this gets updated. And so generally speaking, it's going to only be whatever they ordered, because we don't really talk to them that much. So it's very rarely going to be used, but it means that I can come quickly look and say, this particular order is awaiting customer. We haven't spoken to them for 3 days. That means we've dropped the ball. Or this is awaiting the customer, and the last time we spoke to them was today, so that's fine. I don't actually need to go in and do anything. Someone who's managing customer service will just keep that up to date. Order date itself. Yeah, exactly. It's very, very basic, and it can fall apart sometimes, but it does the job for most things. Order date is self-explanatory. Realistically, we only use the order date for time tracking in the next column. And so this days since order, it's not going to be super granular, but what it'll do is allow you to keep track of how long it's taking you to process orders. And all it does is a very simple function that takes away today's date from the date that it was ordered. And that's so if you've got a day, 2 days, 3 days, we generally average 0 to 1 days to get orders completed. Sometimes customers take a while and they'll go to 2. I think we have 1 or 2 orders that took 3 days in total. But this just lets me keep an eye on any editors that are working, so I can see this person's taking too long to get orders done. Then we have our order number. This is helpful for your editors or for yourself. And you'll see why later on when we go and start creating the images for the orders, just to be able to have quick, easy access to the order number. Then we've got the order link. So quickly need to jump into the order because you need to contact the customer. You have a question. Then having the order link right there is just super handy. Customer name, listing code. This is, again, the codes that we developed in one of the first slides. So our listing code is there, and this makes it so easy to do designs when the order comes in. Absolutely so easy. I know immediately that first order there for Amy is going to be a sock. It's going to be a married with name sock, and they want the first background. So I don't need to do anything else. I know exactly what it is. And if I don't, then I can just search in my folders for those for that listing code or parts of it, and then I can go find it. Then we have our template notes. So in this case, let's just say we are basing the design around text and we're offering multiple font choices. We're just going to stick the font that they want in there in the template notes. So we've got a customer image. If there is a customer image, I just copied and pasted this entire line. It should be all blank, really. And most of these fake orders don't have images. But yeah, if there's a customer image and you need quick access to it, there it is. And then we've got our temp print image and temp mockups. So if the customer requests a mockup, and as a rule, we don't send mockups unless they're requested. It just takes too long, and if a customer doesn't get back to you, then your order is going to go overdue. Especially on Etsy, that's going to be a massive problem. So it's in our descriptions. It's in the text that we send customers after they placed an order. We don't send mockups. If they want one, yeah, we can send them. But having the text there sort of stops a lot of people from asking. But if they do, then this is where I can put it, or our designers can put it, and then anyone on customer service can just quickly find the image and send it to the customer. They don't need to go trawling through a whole lot of folders. They can just quickly browse the sheet, find the image for the mockup, and send it to the customer. And then we have the temporary print image, and so this will be what this is what that mockup design is, or that mockup is based on. So the customer goes, "Oh, that design is brilliant. I love it. Please print it." Well, then me or the editors, they don't need to touch it ever again. Just whoever's on customer service can grab that temporary print image, put it in the correct folder that we'll talk about later, and away you go. And so we have.
While we're talking about Aaron on YouTube, he is asking, do you have Google Sheets synchronized, or do you manually add in each customer's order into the sheet?
Right now, we just manually add each customer's order into the sheet. Having it synchronized is probably possible, but there are certain issues. If you have, say, a customer order like 4 different products, and they want certain things done on one, and then an identical product, but other things done on the other, and all of that information is just specifically in the message that you have with them, then it's going to be very difficult to parse that data out and get it into a spreadsheet. Because sometimes we may have like 4 line items for one order, just because there's very specific things that need to be done for each product within the order. And then sometimes someone might buy like 7 or 8 products and they're all identical. And so we don't actually have to do anything. It's just one line item. Here's the personalization, do it for everything. So it can be quite difficult to parse that information out just by scraping it. So if that answers your question.
Okay. But how do you synchronize anyways? With Zapier or that kind of tools?
Honestly, I wouldn't know. We do a lot of our stuff in-house, where we link some of our applications together or some of our orders together, but that's all done in-house. We don't use third-party apps. Then we have our status and completed status, and this is entirely up to you how you want to manage this. We just have 4. You have new, awaiting customer, in progress, and complete. The days since order gets locked on the completed date when the status is complete. That's just built into the function. So you can use it, you don't have to use it, and I will provide a version of this, a blank version, that you guys can use. So what we do here then, if I was to come, and I'll show you later, if I was to change this awaiting customer to complete and then change the date it was completed, then this number here, number 1, would be locked, so it won't keep counting.
All right.
I will go into that I'll show you exactly how it works in a bit.
That would be nice.
So we're very close. So listing on Etsy. Before you actually get started, you're going to want to have a lot of this stuff set up. Just don't even bother contacting AOP before you're ready. I mean, if you really want, you can get the ball rolling, but it's going to be, they only offer personalization on one of their hero member programs. So you're going to be paying and then have no designs up. So get this system put in place, get your order tracking put in place, get a few designs at least done and ready to go and organized. And then you need to contact AOP before you actually start getting stuff on Etsy. So you've got 2 options for selling personalized on AOP. You can either have a store where just absolutely everything is personalized. You don't offer any normal products that people can just buy and be done with, or else you can do a mix. So you could have your own designs, people just them, and same as any print-on-demand company. And then a few you have that are personalized. And so how AOP handles those 2 options are different. And so it's important to know ahead of time really whether you're going to do one or the other, just so that you can tell them and that they can set it up correctly on the back end. So you really need to talk to them first. Reach out to Ugar, reach out to their customer service, say I want to sell personalized and I'm going to sell everything personalized on this store, or I'm going to have a few things. And what AOP will do is they'll set up a shared Google Drive folder. And this is where you'll put all of your images, all of your order images, that is, not your designs and stuff. They don't need this. They will give you a folder that'll be either Shopify-your shop name or Etsy-your shop name. And within that folder, you're going to put your orders. And that's just going to be Etsy-your order number or Shopify-your order number. It's pretty straightforward. The way they handle a personalized store that's 100% personalized is that they will just block every single order that comes in until they get design data or until they get the design file. If you want to mix and match it, then you're going to need to tell them each collection that you set up for personalized items. And then they will flag that collection. And if an order comes in with a product in that collection, it'll get stopped, and then they'll wait for the file to be uploaded. It's sort of important though that you get the images uploaded to them as quickly as possible. It's something that they're going to have to check each day, and they're not going to want to keep coming back every single day and go, has this got a file yet? Has this got a file yet? Has this got a file yet? So it's definitely, if there's an issue, customer isn't getting back to you, then at least reach out to them and say, hey, we're still waiting on this. We'll let you know when the images come in or when we've finished the design.
The best way is, I'll jump in this way, to reach to the customer support using chat facility or ticket system or email. Once you upload the file, just drop us on a message, because eventually we're going to regularly check the folder by if you have any problem on the customer side, like preparing the artwork or getting artwork from customers. Eventually we have no idea. And to make this workaround a bit faster to move forward, then you have the file, and when you edit and upload to the folder, just drop us a message, and our support team is going to warn the production team, and we're going to process your orders faster.
Cool. So just a few quick tips on listing on Etsy. Hopefully at this point you know physically how to list products on AOP for Etsy. So this is just a few tips specifically relating to the personalized products. So that design tracking code that we've generated earlier, that needs to go in the title. You really can put it anywhere. But if you plan on doing any volume of sales, then having to go find that design tracking code within the description for every single order will just slow your whole system down. So it doesn't look great, and it will remove certain number of characters from your title that you could otherwise use for keywords. But honestly, it's worth it. There's just no point in not doing it. If you really don't want to give up the real estate, then don't put the code in and put it in the description. But then every order that you get, you're going to have to open up the product, then open up the description and scroll down, find where you've hidden away the tracking code, then go back to your sheet. Whereas if you put it in the title, you open up the order and the tracking code is right there, ready to be copy and pasted into your sheet.
Makes life easier. Yeah.
Yes, so just do it. It makes your life so much easier. If you're going to offer multiple backgrounds, then put one background in a collection. So it just makes it more straightforward to keep track of things. Let's say with our wedding example, we have a black background and we have it on socks, and then we actually want to put it on 3 other products as well. We don't need to go and create another collection, or we don't need to go, oh, I wonder, did I put it on that one? Did I not put it on that one? We can just go to the collection, black background, wedding personalization, and find all the products we haven't uploaded, and then just quickly upload them. We always upload a dummy image for each collection, something that is sort of relevant. I mean, in the end, technically speaking, it doesn't really matter what's in the collection, because their AOP are going to wait for your design file. But just to make it easier for yourself to go back and try and figure out what I have and haven't uploaded, what is finished, what isn't finished, just upload an image that's semi-relevant to either the personalization or the background that you're going to use. So yeah, it's easier to track what has and hasn't been listed. Leave everything in draft until your personalization or your optimizations are completed. So that's your keywords or your tags, your title, description, pricing, anything like that. Just leave it in draft. We found that Etsy will semi-penalize a listing that isn't fully optimized. Yes, they can definitely still make sales, but you're giving them bad data to work with from the very start. So it's best just to get all the keywords done, description, all your images uploaded, all the mock-ups that you've already made, just get them done and then publish it. And that's the way AOP does it anyway. So they'll send everything to draft. So just leave them there until you're absolutely ready to launch them. And so this is just something in relation to Etsy sections, and it's sort of a decision you may or may not need to make now. It's not specifically relevant to personalization, but they'll offer you 20 shop sections. And you need to decide now whether you want to group your sections by the personalization option that you have, or by the product types that you're going to sell. So if you figure you're only going to sell 5 or 10 different product types, or you figure you're only going to sell 5 or 10 different personalization types, it might be better just to do all your Etsy section grouping by then. We found a lot of sales from clicking on one listing and then the customer buys another. So it's very important. It's very important to make it as easy as possible for your customer to find whatever relevant products you have that are similar to each other, whether that's different product types or whether that's similar personalization options. So someone clicks on your socks because they're getting married and they like the idea of these wedding personalized socks. And then, they have a whole personalized section for weddings, and then they find other products that you have for sale. It becomes a nightmare to make all of these decisions and choices once you have 500 products listed. So sort of make the decision now how you think things are going to go. I mean, if we need to change it, then it's possible, but just save yourself a headache in the future. So I'm just going to very quickly go over the order process, and then we're pretty much done, except for a few examples. So order comes in, and you or one of your staff will input the order details into the sheet. They will get an image if it's necessary and download it into a local folder. Now, obviously, you're probably going to want a shared folder if you've got a team working on this. Just use Google Drive or Dropbox or any other service like that. AOP use Google Drive, so it's pretty easy just to work with that. So then you're going to edit your template, and I'll show you the templates now in a second. So you're going to add whatever text, choose the font choice, add the images if they've requested it or if images are part of your personalization. Then you're going to copy that image URL to the tracker that I showed you earlier, upload it to AOP, or upload it to a local folder if you're waiting on, if the customer wants a mockup. And then you're done. So it really is a very straightforward process. It seems like there's a lot of steps involved, but it's very straightforward. Once you've done a couple of orders, it will not take you very long to process an order. If we get an order in between our editor and customer service, it can be done in 10 minutes or less.
Okay. Perfect.
Right, let's look at a few examples.
Oh yeah, let's do it. And also we're going to share this presentation on our blog and in the group, so you can always go back and review the steps.
Yeah. So this is the personalized order tracker in the background. And this is a very, very quickly thrown together folder structure for what we use. So we have this My Store AOP Plus. So this is where we store everything specifically relating to actual orders. And then our designs go into the designs folder. And so in here, we'll have things separated by niche and or personalization. So I wasn't going to the trouble of creating a huge number of different options. So you could have this be your married with names wedding, and that's part of your listing code. Within the wedding, we've got this. This is the SK-MN design. So this is the socks married with names. And so just as a very quick example, this is absolutely not a design that I would ever sell. So this is a horrible example I threw together. I would never, ever, ever sell this.
It's very old.
Yeah, it's gross. So this is the AOP template that we're going to base our design off of. So within here, we've got two backgrounds. We've got a black background with white roses, and that is, let's see if I can make this bigger for you. So that is here. We've got our black and white roses are here. And then we've got some text options available. So we've got stuff on the left and we've got stuff on the right. So if you want to create whatever number of text options or whatever number of backgrounds, this is where you want to put it. And just make sure that things are labeled in such a fashion that you can quickly go and find them. Now this file here that we've opened, this is where we're actually going to create our design. And then we're going to export the final images that we're then going to use as a mock-up. And so you may want to then export multiple images. So we could have one with font number 2, and we could have one with font number 1, and we could have that with a different background. This has nothing to do specifically with the orders. This is the very start of the process to start creating your designs. So from there, you're going to want to create your mockups. And again, I've just grabbed the AOP mockup template. Pretty straightforward. I have my designs that I've made, 1 design, 2 designs. And what I can do is, I mean, most people know how to make a mockup, I'm sure. Let's just So what we can do is open up our front, and our artwork wants to go there. Okay, we've made our mockup. Very straightforward. And once we're done, I also wouldn't use a mockup like this in an Etsy image. You need to jump out and show people that this is personalized. And so once you're done, you've created your two mockups. Do better than this, but you've created two mockups. Now you can list them on Etsy. So that's our design creation process. We're going to have things labeled, so if I need to come back and I've decided actually these two fonts aren't working, I want different fonts, so I need to make new mockups. Well, everything is already saved and labeled, so I know exactly where I need to go to make those changes if I need to in the future. Once you've got things listed and orders come in, this is where being organized really helps. So this is the folder that AOP will give you. Etsy-my store name. You may or may not be able to save it onto your actual hard drive. Google Drive has made changes to how shared folders work. So you may have to keep this folder online and just manually upload images to it. Thankfully, our folders are old enough that we still have them saved properly. We don't have to go online to do anything. So then you have a local folder. You're more than likely going to have Photoshop files saved, large images saved, designs, multiple iterations of designs if customers have asked for them. And so you don't need to clog up AOP's available storage by dumping everything into their folder. So have a local folder. And then in here we have our templates.
Very organized. Well.
So within our templates, we've got mockups. Now this is blank, but we do have separate mockups that we use if customers have asked for a mockup. They have very specific branding on them. They don't have the same amount of sort of selling push as our other mockups might. So we use separate mockups when people ask for them. Here we've got our backgrounds. We've got our B01 and our B02. And here we have our print templates. So we just have socks. So we have our socks template. Now this looks, first glance, identical to the other image that we opened up. But there's something very different, and that is this
very good trick. Yeah.
this T at the end, PSDT. So that stands for template. And the great thing about this, what's
the difference than normal PSD file?
Yeah. So a PSDT file, what happens when you open it is that Photoshop creates a duplicate and opens that instead. And so in practice, what that means is I now have, instead of sk-mn socks design, I now have untitled. And what this means is that any changes that I make to this particular file for this particular customer in this particular order, nothing. If I make any changes and save it, then it'll be completely separate. So if I break something and accidentally deleted it, then I haven't ruined the original file. It's still there. It's still completely usable.
That's very smart. I've done it 1,000 times.
Yeah. So if you make a change and then accidentally save it, then you're screwed. And it's very simple. If I do want to make changes to this, I can just remove the T.
That's it.
And now it's a regular Photoshop file, and it opens up as a regular Photoshop file. So for your templates, always add the T. How we're gonna use this is why is the Photoshop working? Lovely. Okay, doesn't want to work. So we've left our text. We have our two font options. Our order has come in, and we want to do something with it. Let's just take a dummy order there and show you what I would do. So let's say Amy here, let's mark this as new. Oh, now we're 9 days. Amy here has ordered this. Amy here has ordered this sock, and she wants the background 1, and she wants font number 1, and she wants names Amy and Paul.
Mm-hmm.
So the order process then is quite straightforward. Actually, what I do is I keep my folders like this. I have my templates here, and I have my tracker here, and I have my Etsy orders here. Oh, actually, this was from when we were talking about earlier. So the first thing I'll do is one of my staff members has put this in. So he'll have created this folder, and it will be the Etsy order number. And again, this is in our local directory. And then he'll also have created this folder. And this is just a working folder, just so we know that anything that's in this never gets printed. Anything that's outside of this folder can get printed. If there was an image that the customer wanted printed, it would be in here. But there is no image, so it's just blank. But this is where I'm going to save everything. So I'm going to open up my templates. I've got my sock template. It's now open. Now, normally I would do this on multiple windows, so you just have to bear with me. Okay, I know the customer wants font number 1, so I'm going to open up font number 1. I have font 1 selected. Great. And I know they want background 01. So let me get rid of this here. I go to my backgrounds, and they want background 1. Now, you can technically keep all of your backgrounds in your Photoshop files. But if you have hundreds of designs and lots of different backgrounds, then each of your Photoshop files is going to be huge. So realistically, your best bet is just to keep separate copies of your background files if you use multiple backgrounds. So she wanted background 1. Again, I have double verification here. Background 1, she wanted font 1, and she wanted Amy and Paul. Now, in this particular instance, you probably wouldn't want the names on the front and the back, but we're not going to worry about that for now. So I have my working folder here. If I was to create a mock-up for a temporary save, because I wanted to keep working on this, this is where I'd put it. But we're happy with this image, so we're just going to save it. AOP likes PNGs. And we're going to go here, and we're going to name it. It's important that if there's like a back and a front print, and you've selected the back and the front print, you let AOP know that that's what you want. So we're printing socks, print front and back. And then I would type in Etsy and the order number. I'm not going to find it now. So the order number will go here. Now that we have our file, what we're going to do is copy this from the local folder, go into the synced folder, paste it, and then we're just going to get rid of the working directory. And we're done. This will now be synced, sent to AOP, and they will print it. The last thing I may want to do is mark the order as complete and put in the date that I worked on it. The 24th. Oh, it took 9 days.
That's wonderful. Very, very well organized. I wasn't expecting something like that from you. I know you personally for a while. That's very impressive. Thanks. Especially this tracker. What's that? Excel file, right? Do you think we can share something like that? We can share a copy of that with our users, or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's really straightforward. if anyone can see what's on the screen here, almost all of the magic is in the date tracking, and it's literally just if something is blank, then do nothing. If this is complete, then do something else. I mean, this is the only piece. Other than that, you could make this yourself. And then these are all just date functions so that you can double click and put in a date with conditional formatting. This is a very, very basic spreadsheet. But yeah, I'll share it. No problem. I'll just delete all this.
Yeah, later everything. The way we won't give them any private data. I know they're not real data.
Nothing here is real.
But just to give them a guideline, because you say it's simple, but I mean it's good to be organized, and that kind of even small basic things can help a lot to the people to organize their work basically. So we can create a blog post about that. I'm going to press. I mean, we're gonna publish this video online anyways. It's already saved on YouTube, Facebook, etc. We're gonna create a blog post about that to show them all steps again. Share your presentation, share that file, and hopefully it's going to help people to offer more personalized products. Actually,
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, that's wonderful. We received some questions. I was trying to publish them during the call. If you guys have any questions, feel free. And also, Daniel and I, we're always on our Facebook group. It's a group on Facebook. Just type POD Academy. I'm talking about for the users on Facebook page and YouTube channel if they're not member of our group. If you have any specific questions, the reason behind POD Academy is not to get support only, and also I see many sellers, many users of the application, they share their experiences, so which helps a lot to other people as well. Yeah, that's it really. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Daniel, and hopefully it's going to help a lot of sellers. What time is it over there now? It's 10 o'clock. No, 9.
It's 9.
9. Okay, all right. That was good. What I will do. Oh, hold on.
Oh, it was Peter.
Peter is sending strange messages. I'm not publishing them on the because I don't mind. I don't mind publish his comments if we do them live just on the group, but we're also publishing it on YouTube. So. And Yusuf posted a couple of things, and Peter as well. So we appreciate the comments, Peter. Thank you so much. But and also there is another thing. What's that? P. Metz asking, can all products be personalized? I thought someone said Facebook face mask cannot be. Well, pretty much whatever you see on the application, yes, you can personalize. The reason we didn't offer face mask personalized because back in the time, I think it was on June, July, this mask adventure started suddenly. We weren't ready for that. We weren't expecting to receive that many orders. We weren't we were building our team from scratch. So what's the strange sound? What are you doing, Daniel?
What it was? Sorry, I missed that. Peter was sending me a message.
Anyway, so yeah, we can help you about the offer personalized masks as well. So just reach to the support, and they're gonna help you too. Oh, look, Peter is saying thanks, Daniel. Very nice.
You're welcome, nice. Peter. Get back to work.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for your time, and thanks for sharing that amazing presentation and Excel file. Now you can enjoy the rest of your night.
Going to bed.
Thanks for everyone for watching. I'm going to post this video on YouTube as well. So if you have any questions, just let us know. If it's not, have a good night and talk to you later. Bye-bye.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Daniel. Bye-bye.
No worries. Bye-bye.